Okay, now for today, we're going to be looking at how to graph absolute values. So let's take a look at 41 through 44. Absolute values, we have the X. You guys see the X is, it has those lines at the side. Now, one cool thing about the absolute values is that they look like a V sign. If I just ask you for a normal thing as a wide, let's just call this wide is equal to the absolute value of X. I know I have a -2 in my thing, but if I just ask you for Y is equal to the absolute value of X, that's going to look like a V sign. Let me do this side right here, and let me do this side right here. That's the absolute value of X. Y is equal to absolute value of X. Back in Algebra 1, a couple years ago, your algebra teacher had you come up with points. They will say, think of a random value of X and find the corresponding value Y. We could do that, but I'm just going to say it looks like that. Now, the one that we're graphing right now, Y is equal to absolute value of X minus 2. What I'm going to do, this number outside of the absolute value, it's a minus 2. I'm just going to move this graph 2 down. So my graph will look like my vertex is going to be here, right? Instead of the 0, 0, because I moved it 2 down. So my graph will look like this. Again, the blue is that Y is equal to absolute value of X, and the red is that Y is equal to absolute value of X minus 2. I brought it down 2 because of the minus 2 outside. If it was a plus 2, I would have brought this thing up. So the number outside of the absolute value tells me whether I shift it up or down when I respect the sign. Now, looking at question number 42. Again, let me remind you guys, Y is equal to the absolute value of X. Right? We're going to call this the parent function. The vertex is here at the origin, and it looks like this. The Y is equal to the absolute value of X. But in my case, I'm graphing this one. Y is equal to the absolute value of X minus 3. When the number is inside the absolute value, it is going to tell me whether I move to the right or to the left. Now, we're going to go opposite of what we usually think of. We're going to go to the right if my sign is negative, and we're going to go to the left if my sign is plus. So this case, because it's X minus 3, I'm going to move to the right. My vertex, let me move my vertex 3 spaces to the right. And then I'm going to graph my V shape like this. So this in red is the Y equals absolute value of X minus 3. Notice I moved to the right because it was minus 3. Now, some cases, I'm going to have to move to the sides up and down as well. Looking at this case, I have a plus 2. So I know, let me draw my origin. I'm not going to draw my parent function anymore, but I know it's the origin, it's there. So the vertex is at the origin, and I'm going to move this 2 to the right. I mean, 2 up. So according to my directions here, I'm going to move 2 up, and according to my inside of the absolute value, I'm going to move to the left 4. Remember, inside the absolute value, I think opposite signs. So my vertex is going to move up 2 and 4 to the left. So my vertex is going to be here. Now, normally, I will say this is the absolute value. Now, this is the graph of absolute value of X plus 4, and then outside plus 2. Now, in this case, I'm going to take a look at this thing outside. Because it's a negative sign, I'm going to flip my graph. So my graph is going to look like this. Because of the negative sign, I flip my graph, and it's my V is going down, right? It's open down. Take a look at one last example here. Now, my graph, my vertex, I know again, it starts at the 0, 0. Starts at the 0, 0, and I'm gonna go up 3. And then I'm gonna move to the right 3. So my vertex now is here. So like I said, I moved it up 3 and 3 to the right. Remember, inside the absolute value, we go opposite signs of what we usually think of. Now, because of the minus sign, because of the negative sign, my graph, my V shape is going to be open down. So here we go. Again, it is open down, right? It looks like a V open down because of this negative sign at the beginning.